Hello, third graders, and welcome to Thursday night's homework. Here are the materials that you will need for tonight's homework. You will need your Mop Dogs paper, you will need a pen or a highlighter, and you will need paper and pencil to write your answer. Your pen or highlighter would be great if it was a different color. So even a crayon would be okay to underline with in a different color. I have orange today because I have already used pink and yellow on my paper and it's getting a little bit colorful. So today we're going to read Mop Dogs with the purpose of answering question number 7. Question number 7 at the bottom of the page says, in 2 or 3 sentences, explain why Commandeur dogs are sometimes called mop dogs. Anytime in 3rd grade when you're only asked to write 2 or 3 sentences, you'll make sure that your sentences are long and complex and have lots of information from the text. So, we're being asked to explain why Commandeur dogs are sometimes called mop dogs. What we're going to do now is we're going to read Mop Dogs and we're going to highlight words or phrases that talk about how Commandeur dogs look like mops or what we think might be a reason why they're called mop dogs. So, get your highlighter or crayon or pen ready, and today I'm going to ask for you to go ahead and read it on your own and highlight any words or sentences that remind you of how Commandeur dogs look like mops. So go ahead and pause the video, read this on your own carefully, and highlight words that show how Commandeur dogs look like mops. Okay, pause the video. Go ahead and do that. Okay, 3rd graders, we're back. Look at all of this information that I found for how Commandeur dogs look like mops. I drew a little picture down here to remind you of what a mop looks like. We're not talking about one of those sponge mops like most of us have nowadays. We're talking about this kind of old-fashioned floppy mop. So here's what I highlighted in orange. They're a strange-looking animal. The dog's ears and eyes are almost hidden by its thick coat. Even the dog's long hanging tail seems to get lost in all that fur. This shows me that I can't tell where his rump is and where his head is, and that is like a mop. Commandeurs are always white. These types of mops are usually white. The cords grow to be 8 to 11 inches long. So to give you an understanding of what 8 to 11 inches is, the side of your paper, if you turn your paper sideways, this is 11.5 inches. So that's how long they get if they go all the way, if they grow all as long as they typically do. And this is 8.5 inches. 8.5 inches and actually 11 inches. So between this long and this long is how long these floppy cords grow to be. On a mop, these strings, these kind of cords that hang on the bottom of the mop, are about that long also. The cords hang down and make the dogs look like 4-legged mops. And then in the second column, the only thing I found was they have a long coat of cords. So now let's turn back and take a look at the question that we're answering. Explain why Commandeur dogs are sometimes called mop dogs. So in order to answer this question, you're going to need to go ahead and get your piece of paper. I don't have any lined paper with me, but I do have a piece of white paper. Can I go ahead and write my answer on that? Of course you can. So let's go ahead and do that. Pencil. So my name is Liz. I'll put today's date, which for you will be 1/16, I think, 15. And then I'm just going to put number 7, period. If I wanted, I could go ahead and write Mop Dogs at the top, so remember what this is. Okay, to begin my answer, I'm simply going to copy this part of the sentence, and then I'll add the word because. Best handwriting of my life. I am the smartest I have ever been in my life, and I have the best handwriting I have ever had in my life. Go ahead and pause the video and get this sentence starter down, and then complete the sentence using some of our highlighted information from the other side of the paper. So go ahead and pause the video and do that now. Okay, third graders, hopefully you used your highlighted information and then you created interesting sentences that are packed with information. Because this is the first time we've done this type of homework, I'm going to go ahead and show you my answer to question number 7. In the future, I probably won't. Remember that our job is to write 2 or 3 sentences and explain why Commandeur dogs are sometimes called mop dogs. We used the end of that sentence as our sentence starter. Commandeur dogs are sometimes called mop dogs because they have long, white cords that hang down. I could have said they have cords that hang down, period. They are white, period. They are long, period. But those are very boring short sentences. In 3rd grade, we'd like to see you making longer, complex sentences. So I have all of the information in one sentence. I have 2 adjectives. I have the adjective long and white to describe their cords. Because I have 2 adjectives in a row, I separate it with a comma. But I had more information than that to report on. I wanted to write about how their eyes and ears and tail seem to get lost in all that fur or are hidden. And so my next sentence includes that information. The cords can grow to be 11 inches long and almost hide their ears, eyes, and tail. I've used commas here because I have 3 words in a series: ears, eyes, and tail. If I have 3 or more words, I'm going to add commas in between the words and before the conjunction and. So ears, eyes, and tail. One question you might have is about this, 11 inches. You may have noticed in the article that they wrote the word 8 out, but then they used the digits 11. We have a rule for this. In English, if the number that we want to write is below 10, if it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, we have to write the word out with letters. And that stinks if it's an 8. We just want to write the digit 8. But we have a little saying that goes like this: little number, big word. If it's a little number, you have to go ahead and write out the big word using letters. Because this number is higher, then it's 10 or higher, then we get to just use the digits. So try to remember that in your writing in class from now on. So far we have Commodore dogs are sometimes called mop dogs because they have long white cords that hang down. The cords can be 11 inches long and almost hide their ears, eyes, and tail. I could have stopped there, but I always like to go and do as much as I can, and so when it said 2 or 3 sentences, I want to make sure I have 3. My final sentence says, they look like strange mops. And that's directly from the text. She says they're a strange looking animal, and so I decided to say they look like a strange mop. Does your answer have to look exactly like mine? Of course not. It is better if it does not. If you copied my answer word for word, then you did not pause the video and do it on your own. Now, in the future, your teacher will make sure that your answer isn't exactly word for word like it is here. But because this is our first time trying this, if it's mostly like this one, you're going to be okay. So, nice job. Today we reread Mop Dogs with the purpose of looking for how the author describes Commodore dogs as looking like mops. And then we took that information, we synthesized the information, we took a lot of information and crammed it into 3 great sentences. 2 great sentences and 1 closing sentence, really. So nice job, 3rd graders. I hope you've enjoyed learning about Commodore dogs this week. Next week we will learn about something else. Please make sure that you put your white piece of paper into your backpack and get it back to your 3rd grade teacher tomorrow.